Hey guys, happy to have you here. So today we're gonna draw some dogs. Last week we drew cats, so this week we're drawing dogs. And it was not at all planned, it just somehow happened and I only realized it now. So why are we painting water dogs today? Basically, I was missing painting some water because I love implementing water in my paintings. That's a big thing, and I just think it's very relaxing, so I just wanted some relax water painting session. So I merged it with these Shibas, these cute little guys, and also I was kind of inspired from one of my previous pieces that I did. I think it was I call it the 4-season piece with the fishes, and one of the fishes I painted for summer were like a beachy, wavy kind of vibe. So that's what I went for, because I thought Shibas have like this sandy color, so I could kind of merge it with that. So the first one that we did has basically his tail and his bum is the water, and so I decided for the second one to reverse it and do his head water themed and his tail would be all sandy and filled with shells. So that was my idea for these two first guys. I was contemplating if I wanted them to be more watery overall and just mix the water textures. I don't know how to say it, like to have waves or to have like the glossy-ish things that I sometimes make, like it's formed, like the form is watery. I don't know, but I was thinking I will just take it easy and just have simple shapes, just regular dog, and smash some water in there and sand, nothing too crazy today, because I don't know, sometimes you don't need big epic ideas to have fun. So for this last guy, as I said, I didn't want anything complicated today for this sketchbook drawing session, so I decided he will just be a little regular dog looking at water, so that I can still paint some waves. And at first I was thinking I will add a shell there, but I decided to scrap it. Okay, so as you saw, we got some new packages. Ohuhu sent me their new acrylic markers to try out, and that's what we're gonna do today. We have these 2 bags full of acrylic markers, and one of them I already had. They're the Nahuku acrylic marker set, and they have 24 colors, I think. So they're really nice. They have this brush pen nib, so they can go on paper very smoothly. So I already don't have a lot of colors in my previous sets because I just kept using them for all the pieces that I've drawn where I used acrylic markers, so I really like the smoothness of those ones. But today we will also mostly try the second one that I sent, and it has kind of a different nib. It's more round, it's not a brush nib, so if you want something that's more sturdy, then you can check the other one out. It also has 24 colors, and this case design was really interesting to see since they packed big nibs and small nibs, but separately, so that you have these big, nice, chunky markers and smaller ones for, I don't know, details and line art. So that was a really nice touch, so that you have all the colors but in different sizes. So yeah, if you want to try them out, I will have a little code for you down below so you can check them out and also have fun with them. I will maybe still say some stuff during the video, but other than that we can dive deeper into these water dogs. Okay, so I already forgot if I mentioned that these dogs were inspired by my fish that I drew. But if I did, then I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. I have a tiny little brain. No, but anyways, so how I approached this was, for this first guy, I started out with the sandy part of his body, since I knew that I wanted to add some layers for the water. And that's what I'm doing here. I already, for some of the blobs that you saw, I added the sandy color underneath and went with this nice green tone, just because, you know, when the waves are coming back and forth, then you still can see the beach, the sand, you know, so that's what I was trying to do. And as we go deeper, then I'm adding more blues and darker-ish colors. And since this little guy has a tiny little boat on top of him, I did not really add any shells or anything else in the sand area. I could have done that, but I thought since we have a little boat, then adding shells that are the same size would be weird. But I guess then it would be just a toy boat, but you know, who thinks that? I don't know. Maybe you do, but I just kept the dog very simple, the face and everything. I am going with 3 colors, or I guess 4 colors for the sand part, so it's mixed with this light sandy yellow and pink, so that we have tones, since you know sand is made from all kinds of stuff, so you can't just have one color. The leg that I'm painting here didn't have the foamy part at first, since you could see that there were no sketch lines, but as I started painting it, I decided to make it into the second wave that's coming in, and I think I like the result more if I would have left it completely painted over. I do think that I could have done the tail better. I already was kind of struggling drawing it, but maybe I should have just left it blank and had no lines in it and made it more painterly, have, I don't know, just like no restrictions and make a better wave. But I kind of gave up on it because I was just too lazy. Yeah, so it's not really a wave that I would want to see, but you know, it's just a sketchbook. Who cares? I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. I tend to keep the eyes the last part I draw for most of my pieces, just because sometimes I want them to be the last to see what color I could use. So this time I couldn't decide if I wanted some blues in there, you know, because maybe I could have gone for something dark, because that's what I usually do, but this time I decided to keep it blue, have the sea reflected in them, so that was really nice, and I think I really like the eyes. I also really was craving something other that's not blue, just to make the whole piece pop a little bit more. So what I've been doing is adding this pink, blue, yellow lines on the pieces, so that we have a little bit of a spark in there, you know, that it's somehow is glowing a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but it just adds enough color to not take away from the piece, but to add to it and make it stand out a bit more. If you're wondering what pencil I'm using here for the line art, I will also have a link for that down below so you can check it out. But I love this pencil. I keep going over with everything. I love this because sometimes I lose a lot of information that I put in the sketch, and this is just me bringing it back. So now we've moved on onto the second dog, and this time I decided that his head will be the wave part and the other side of his body will be the sandy part. And since I didn't add any shells or anything like that for the first one, that's why this guy has a lot of them, has some stars, has a shovel left in his back, you know. I don't know how it got there, but I thought it would be a cute little thing to add. And actually I did try to make his tail into a sand castle, but it looked a little bit weird, almost, I don't know. I scrapped it because I couldn't make it not weird, but maybe it was cute, I don't know. Maybe I was just overthinking it, so who knows, maybe next time I need to try and do it again. But yeah, this time he just has a puffy sandy tail. So for his head, I did go with the darker blue that I didn't use for the first guy, but I realized that, you know, for acrylic markers, they tend to not have very dark colors. It's usually just a purple that's darker, and of course they have a black color, but they never really have any really dark blues or really dark greens. So I think that's something that I'm always missing, even though I don't really use that many dark colors in my pieces. And for this drawing it wasn't necessary, but sometimes, you know, you crave for that really nice dark tone. So yeah, that's my only beef with any acrylic marker brand, that they sometimes have not enough dark colors. I decided for the shells that I'm gonna go with this orangey pinkish theme and not go too off of that, since we already have some blues and greens in the water, so I didn't want to overpower it and make it kind of cohesive, you know. It just, I don't know, ties it together so that we see the shells, but it's also not taking away from the water. I know I keep saying this, but I really love painting water, since it can just be drawn in so many different ways, and for me it's such a relaxing thing to do. And when I was painting this, I just got out of being sick again. I don't know what happened. So yeah, that's why this is a little bit of a less effort kind of sketchbook spread. I still wanted it to be fun but relaxing enough so that I don't get even more sick, because I think this was the day where I was finally feeling better, so I didn't want to push it, and try to get sick again. So that's why today was a bit less technical, but hopefully next time I can figure out something that's fun, something that maybe you can suggest. You can always tell me what you would want to see. I'm thinking either I would want to try to bring a character that I have. He's like a little alligator character that I drew on Patreon, or perhaps we can draw some scenes, something that has backgrounds. I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but next time we can challenge ourselves a little bit more. Okay, so there was no point for me to draw another water dog, so instead I painted this little scene with the dog and him looking at his reflection, or is it his reflection? But my first idea was to just draw a shell there that he's looking at it. Maybe it got washed up, but now we have no shells, so maybe you need to comment a shell so that he doesn't miss it too much and he has his shells. But anyways, I got rid of his shell, and the shell even had little crab on him. I don't know, maybe he misses his crab friends. But okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Instead of the shell, I gave him this reflection buddy, and the reflection doesn't make any sense, because if you would know, then it should not really have his face on there. It doesn't work that way. But I decided to keep it that way since we're making the reflection into this some kind of a being that's just looking at him and it's not him. So that's the kind of story I decided to go for, and that's why you will see that once I start painting in the water, that the reflection is pink and not in his color, because I don't know, I like to keep things interesting. So this was kind of a really, really tiny story of this whole piece, and honestly I love how it turned out, and I might turn it into a print. Would love to know if you would want it as a print, but I just think it's just very calming. I also decided to add a little bit more blue in his shadow areas since he is next to the water, so we would have that. This is a bit random, but I'm looking at two cats that are playing in the garden, because if you haven't noticed, I have moved places, so now I have this huge window that looks into the street, and that's why it gets a little bit noisy sometimes. But there is a neighbor's garden that I can see, and they have a ginger cat and a little striped one as well, so that's a fun fact for you that I can see right now. But yeah, so I moved, and yeah, it's a little bit noisier than the previous place, because the other place I was higher up and it wasn't facing the street. So yeah, if it gets a bit noisy, let me know and I will try to tone it down for you as best as I can. I had such a blast painting this piece. It was just so much fun. I don't know why. And I liked adding the pink pop of color for the dog's reflection. Plus I also added for the actual dog, his eyebrows or eyebrow dots are pink. I don't know. I don't know why I did that, but it's just cute, you know. I love that art can be so experimental. You can just do whatever you want. So if you want pink dot eyebrows, then just add pink dot eyebrows. Anyways, I'm so happy that you stayed here for a while and hopefully enjoyed watching me draw these cute little dogs. And I am wishing you a happy weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye!